Hi guys, Terry here. I wanted to show you a really great idea for a little reminder for sending out those birthday cards that you make. So a while ago I attended a card making class and we made this little box. I think it's such a cute idea. The idea is it's got dividers for each month and you can write down when people's birthdays are. So let me show you how to make this. Again, the whole goal is to send out those birthday cards that we make. So the supplies that you're going to need is one sheet of plain cardstock that's 12 by 12 inches. Here I am scoring, and I'm going to score at the 1-inch mark and the 3 3/4, and then over here at 8 1/4, and then at the last 1-inch mark down there, the 11 inches. And then we're going to turn it on the side and we're going to score it at 6 and 9 3/4. That last score was 8 3/4, not 9. So now we're going to cut out a couple of pieces, and I'll have all these measurements and drawings on my website because it's a little bit easier to explain when you can see the cutout. But basically there's two sides that you're going to cut out, and the trickiest part is making the sloped sides on the side. So I give measurements, but really it's best to hold that box up when you're doing the sides, and I'll show you here in a second. So here I am taping up the front and the sides. I get a little off screen here, but there you can see how the sides are sloped. So I give you the approximate dimensions, but you might need to adjust that when you've got yours scored and taped. So the last thing that you're going to need is pieces of white cardstock. I would use 6 of them, 8.5 by 11, and put them through your printer. And then I've got a PDF to download. This is just the Microsoft template for a calendar list. And I printed it to the PDF that you can download from my website, has each month, and then I printed them and then divided the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in half. And then you can simply glue those closed. But it gives you all the days of the month so that you can write down when people's birthdays are. And then those cards are making dividers so that you can divide them in your box. So as you're making birthday cards for people, you can see which ones are up and coming, and then you can have them all in the box kind of ahead of time, ready to go. So here's the dimensions. So this is the second piece of cardstock we're going to use. It's another 12 by 12 piece. We don't use the whole piece, but we're going to use this to cut the decorative pieces for the box. And again, I've got the dimensions on my website. It's a little bit easier to see on the website. So I show the dimensions. The very back of the card is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. The front of the box, that piece right there, is 4 1/4 by 3. And if these are directional, glue them on the right direction. These were just flowers. They really didn't have an up or a down. And then the side panels are the tricky piece. These pieces are 2.5 by 5.5 tall. And they're going to slope down. So you can either lay it on the side of your box, or you can use a ruler. Here in a second I'll show you how I used a ruler to trim that slant. So I've lined up the pieces on the side here, and then I'm going to take my ruler. I'm measuring on my trimmer. So I'm making a tick mark at the 3 1/4 point because I'm going to cut it from the top of that 5.5 inch down to the 3 1/4. And then I'm going to cut the other piece. Just cut the other piece opposite. One is slanting. They're both going to slant from the back to the front, so keep that in mind. And then when I trimmed that, my box still, I still needed to shave a little bit off. So I would suggest that you lay that on the box there and then kind of draw a little tick mark for where that needs to be trimmed a little bit more. Yeah. And then I've just glued them onto the box. And then I've added, you could use tape runner. Really, ideally, you would use the score tape because this needs to be really sticky. You could also use liquid glue. So I've got the sides down, and then I'm just gluing the front on here. So the box turns out really cute. It's going to sit on your desk. It's got the dividers. I just think it's going to be a great way for me to get ahead of remembering to send those fun birthday cards out. We make the cards. I find it hard to remember to send them out. So my goal this year is to send those cards out. So if I've got people's birthdays written on here, it'll be a good reminder. I can be making the cards, and then I can be mailing the cards out. So you might also decide to keep in this box people's addresses. I think I'm just going to list their name and on what date I need to send it out. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it inspires you to make a little reminder box here. I called it birthday card planner box. And I thank you so much for watching. Again, down below I'll have a link to my blog that has all the measurements. And I would like for you to subscribe if you can. That would really help me out. And I hope you have a great day. Bye now.